Well, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for hanging out with us. We're going to be talking a little bit about Muskerdoodle, Elon Musk. We're going to be talking a little bit. There's an interesting YouTube article as well that I wanted to review with y'all. How's everybody doing today? We are streaming live on Rumble and YouTube. Thank you for joining us. I'm going to jump into these articles. And this actually comes from Alex Berenson's Substack, and it's pretty illuminating. Curly Q, good to have you on. Curly Q. Hey Janet, Twitter surprise, Sasquatch, how you doing, bud? Gypsy Girl, DJ, good having y'all on tonight. So it's not Matt Taibbi or Substack, it's Elon. The world's most interesting billionaire has developed a love-hate relationship with Twitter and anyone who stands up to him. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Janet. He's been tired and making mistakes ever since he wrapped himself up in the tar baby trigger alert that is Twitter. Along the way, he lost 24 billion on the little bird by his own estimate. This is what's kind of fascinating about the CEO appointment is, he just made this deal with the Tuxter and then he undid it.
Oh, wait, really?
With the WEFer.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, the timing is so insanely bizarre because he made this great move that'll absolutely drive all this revenue to Twitter. And it was just like, yay, freedom of speech is real. And then like, oh, wait a minute. No, it's not. And that's the other strange thing.
Reality check.
Well, we'll get into all of it. Okay. Now Musk has made the worst mistake yet. Now, this was back on April 8th. On Thursday, he picked a fight with Substack, a company 1/1000th Twitter size. Then he doubled down by attacking Matt Taibbi, a veteran investigative reporter who has done months of work at Musk's invitation on the Twitter files, the effort to open Twitter's archives to examine how governments, nonprofits, and companies tried to force Twitter to censor tweets and ban users. In 48 hours, Musk has burned up what's left of his credibility as a free speech champion. So here again, once again, free speech is in question on this, supposedly free speech platform and constitution and blah, blah, blah. Too bad, because the files contain something interesting revelations, though not the gotcha on Anthony Fauci that Musk so foolishly promised months ago. I suspect Musk is acting out now in part because of his frustration that the files failed to deliver on Fauci. But what do I know? Musk doesn't talk to me either. Not anymore. But once upon a time, he did. Not so long ago, I too was part of the Twitter files effort. I even watched Musk start to eat a hamburger. We had been talking for an hour or more on the top floor corner conference room on Twitter's headquarters about Fauci, the fertility crisis, interest rates, and the woke mind virus. All Musk faves. It was like being inside his Twitter feed without the memes. Maybe Musk is different with models he wishes to bed, though I doubt it. He can bed them anyway, or celebrities of equal status, if any exist. But with me, he seemed to be exactly as he seems to be in public, smart, driven, but always on blast, a man used to talking rather than listening. And why not? When your fortune runs 11 or 12 places, people will listen even if you don't have anything to say, as the English royals have proven. And Musk doesn't have that problem. I will say that when I mentioned my 50th birthday was the next day, he offered to have a cake for me at headquarters. I think he meant it. I had to say no. I was flying the red eye. I have now turned down money from Elon in 2020 and a cake this year. Dumb and dumber. Finally, his trusty assistant came in and offered him a hamburger. He took her up on it and she brought it in on a paper plate. It looked overcooked. I showed myself out, leaving the world's richest or second richest, depending on the day, but whatever. He's not poor. Man to eat his unappetizing dinner alone. Uneasy lies the head that wears the crown, I thought. A few minutes later, he came out of the office. He said goodbye. He told me again to find the world the truth about Fauci and tell the world. I told him I would if it existed in the Twitter archives. I didn't want to make a promise I couldn't keep. I wasn't sure it did. Fauci is a very careful man, and he had already, under oath, denied having any direct contact with anyone at Twitter except his daughter, who worked there for a time. I didn't have a chance to investigate Fauci, though, because when I finished my first and only piece from the Twitter files, Musk got upset with me. The piece was solid. It was about how Pfizer board members had pushed Twitter to hide posts that might have damaged sales of Pfizer's Mr. Nah shot. Musk wasn't mad at first. At first, he was happy with what I'd written, happy enough that he quoted the tweet. So he re-quoted Alec Berenson. And but then, and what I'll do is, if I can remember, well, let me do it right now. I'll put it in the feed. So any of y'all want to reference this, I'll also put it in the Rumble feed.
There you go.
Okay, let's go back to the Brave. And I want to make sure that I'm still, yeah, I am. Okay, cool. But then Musk, encouraged by a group of right-wing bootlickers who tell him publicly and privately he can do no wrong. Man, that is so true. Decided that I should have posted the entire article on Twitter rather than writing it here on Substack and linking to the highlights on Twitter, though I told him I would do exactly that. Listen to this. So he deleted his tweet and then blocked me. He has since unblocked me partially, though I can no longer send him direct messages. To be clear, his irritation had nothing to do with what I had written. It was because he deemed me insufficiently loyal. Now Taibbi has joined me on his enemies list, though we are among the only serious journalists who stand outside the left-wing media consensus that Musk claims to hate. Taibbi's sin was standing up for Substack after Musk suppressed Substack articles posted to Twitter. This is the same thing with Trump and truth. You know, nothing can lie outside of truth. You know, and Musk, you know, the only place that the freedom of speech can exist. It can't exist on Substack. You know, it's got to exist on Twitter. This move may sound academic, but it isn't, because Substack is a subscription-based business that makes money for writers, while Twitter is an advertising business that makes money from them. Fundamentally, Musk is correct not to trust real journalists as opposed to bootlickers on either the right or the left to be loyal to him. Because we're not loyal to Musk or his billions or even to Twitter or Substack, we are loyal to free speech and the right to report and debate. For us, Twitter is a tool, a powerful free tool to reach the largest possible audience, hopefully without government or corporate interference. I hope Musk saw Twitter the same way, but in fact, he doesn't seem to see Twitter in any coherent way. Is it a public square, a business, a way for Elon Musk, chief twit, to tweak his enemies and express his opinions to the world? Well, you want to know? Just talk to Tesla drivers that have been honest about their Tesla car and what a piece of trash it is, and then how Tesla, when you post that kind of stuff, then they turn your car off.
Yeah.
Musk can hardly call himself a free speech champion if he cuts access to competing sites, especially one crucial to the independent writers he claims to value most. But as an investment, Twitter has failed spectacularly. So I linked this for y'all. But this is what amazing, because right after, like less than a week after this whole Tucker Carlson move, right? So you're like, wow, what an incredible move. Not that, you know, I believe that Tucker's the bastion of anything, right? Like, because I totally think that, you know, Tucker's dad's mega CIA, and I'm sure Tucker's probably CIA, you know, and just the weird stuff that Tucker said, that he was the mouthpiece for these elitists and like didn't even apologize for it. And then the whole 9/11 thing and the Adam Kokesh interview and he's never apologized about that. And then now all of a sudden he sees the light about Building 7 or whatever. But yeah, so Twitter works out this deal with Tuck, and then in less than a week, he names this psycho left ultra mega libtard, like mega ultra mega WEF Davos mega lib that talks about censoring people as like fun and exciting. Elon Musk on Thursday announced a new, yes, this is less than a week, y'all. Excited to announce I've hired a new CEO for X Twitter. That's this, other than Neuralink, this whole X thing, this whole China app, the everything app that he wants to create.
X.com?
Yeah. I don't know if it's X.com. It probably is, but he wants this everything app. They're already doing this in China. It's going to have social credit score. It's going to link. It's going to merge everything. It's like the Borg app. She will be starting in 6 weeks, Elon said, without revealing her name. My role will transition to being executive chair and CTO, overseeing product software and sysops, he added. Elon Musk introduced a new Twitter CEO on Friday morning. I'm excited to welcome Linda Yaccarino as the new CEO of Twitter. Besides the fact, it's just so weird that she's the CEO. All of it's so bizarre. But anyway, Linda Yak will focus primarily on business operations while I focus on product design and new tech. He added, looking forward to working with Linda to transform this platform into X, the everything app. So this is the end game, y'all. This is why he did it. This has nothing to do with free speech. And he's clearly indicated, even though he talks about free speech and he talks a good game, he talks out of both sides of his heavily plastic face with his hair plugs. This guy literally is a fake, and has just as much plastic surgery as all of these politics. He's got as much plastic surgery as Pelosi. And I don't know what's going to happen. He's saying he's transitioning here in this article. So who knows? I mean, maybe who knows what'll happen next week. He just, he just hired Linda Yak. So we'll see. Maybe he's going to be a transformer. Maybe he's going to turn into a Decepticon, y'all. I'm excited to welcome Linda Yaccarino. Wow. And then I love how these articles like repeat themselves. Responses to the new announcement were mixed. And this is what was really interesting, because Billboard Chris, I don't know if you know who Billboard Chris is, but he does a lot of great activism work about Transformers and Decepticons, and he likes to expose Decepticons and all that stuff. Oh boy, y'all, it's raining here. Man, we got several rains today. I encourage everyone to give her a chance. She's followed me, Libs of TikTok, and Jack Posobiec for years. So what? Lots of psycho libs follow people they don't like just to get all stoked up or to retweet them and bash them and all that stuff. She may be more complex than her bio tells you. Like her, I understand being trepidatious about anyone who's associated with the WEF, but let's give her a chance. The WEF notoriously. I will have to be convinced. Currently, I'm extremely skeptical. And what Billboard Chris did is he posted a video of her and Elon. And this video was very interesting about but not only that, Yaccarino, she was like real big at NBC, and she's real big about censoring people and curation, and like exclusively about censoring yourself to attract advertising and everything. It's literally the opposite, supposedly, of what Elon has said, supposedly, but he talks about it both sides of his mouth. So the National Pulse reported, who is Linda Yaccarino? As chairman of Comcast NBC Universal, Yaccarino, 60, interviewed Musk in April about his vision for the social media platform. Yaccarino's biography states she is an executive chairman of Klaus. She's an executive chair at WEF, y'all. She's an executive chair. She also regularly attends Davos, okay? which brings together globalist political, corporate, and non-governmental organization elites every year at the Davos Resort in Switzerland to push its Great Reset agenda. She also lists herself as chairman of the WEF Task Force on Future of Work, which is all about UBI and Automation Nation and taking everybody's job away and replacing us with robots and AI. Sits on its media, entertainment, and cultural. That's called propaganda, y'all. She sits on its media, entertainment, cultural industry governor's steering committee. So she steers the propaganda and is highly engaged with the Value in Media initiative, which is aimed at reshaping online discourse. What happens on Twitter? Online discourse. And she's a WEF chair that sits on the propaganda board of WEF that's aimed at reshaping online discourse. Well, let's give her a chance and let's see if she does the job that she's been molded and sculpted to do by WEF for many, many years. And now all of a sudden she's going to have some like change of heart or something. I mean, and this is like the typical global elitist deal, right? Like all you plebs are a bunch of rerees, right? And you aren't smart as me. You don't have enough military industrial government contracts like old Elon, and you don't get 8 billion worth of tax subsidies so that your crusty, trashy Tesla car works. And then you're not a like multi-level scammer. Tesla Solar Roof is the biggest multi-level scammer deal. You go through all their training and whatnot, right? And there's no ROI on that trashy quote unquote solar roof. It just looks cool. It's overpriced by a factor of 5. And then they make you pre-buy like 250 grand worth of trash that you can't sell, right? And then you'll like install a small roof, right? And then they'll be like, do you need more inventory? It's so insane, man. It's such a, and I'm just like, did this guy just say, do we need more inventory? Because like, what? Like, dude, you know exactly how much we sell. All these things have to be engineered. And you're going to say, do we need more inventory? Like, what are you? You are the slimiest, like, con man. Like, I couldn't believe that even happened. But anyway, so yeah, so obviously Elon totally doesn't care about free speech. He literally, after bringing another Bastion of Truth, Tucker Carlson, right, where we can speak the truth and all this stuff on Twitter, he literally hires a woman WEFer with no type of CEO experience, by the way.
Yeah, that's
No
just so
CEO
weird.
experience. You know, he brings this chair WEFer who's been involved in sculpting narrative online and is like on a propaganda board. So you can't make this stuff up.
Wasn't he going to do something with like letting like the people on Twitter vote on who was going to be the CEO?
Well, he did all that. And I forget the results. And he said, you know, he's like, I'm taking this poll and I'll stick to the poll. And yeah, Tesla cars are not only are expensive, they're junk and they're trash. And if you get a ding in one, they just expect you to replace it and throw it in the trash can. They do. It's so
Quite literally.
It's so environmental.
Go onto YouTube and type in "Rich Rebuilds," and he exposes the whole entire scheme. And it's like, it is absolutely crazy. And he's bought, I think he's had like 8 to a dozen Tesla cars now. And it is the most craziest garbage I've ever seen in my life. And, you know, if it breaks, literally, Tesla wants you literally to throw your car away and buy a new one. Quite literally.
They have no interest in.
They do not want you to fix it. They do not want you to they don't want to sell you replacement parts for it. Nothing. It's absolutely ludicrous. It's crazy.
So it's more spurious stuff from the hair plugs facelift boy. Okay. While he's getting his face reworked off of the billions of military industrial complex. What's the thing? Starship. I know there's Starlink. What was the thing we went to? What was that called? Was that called Starship? What's the thing down there in right off the Rio?
SpaceX or
Well, SpaceX, but
Starbase?
yeah, Starbase. That's
Is it
what we went to,
Starbase? Yeah.
yeah, look, we can make a rocket that goes up and it lands. It's like advanced technology.
Come
Someday
on.
soon we'll go to Mars and go back to the moon.
Come on.
And what a con. What a con, y'all. Con billions.
Well, that was the thing. I was
Con
listening to
billions.
Scotty Kilmore on YouTube, and he said Ford, the vehicle company, has lost since 2000 and, well, whenever they came out with the Ford Lightning, they've lost $1 billion a year in their EV sales. And Scotty was saying, he's like, look, the only way this Joker has been able to pull it off with selling only EVs is with the government behind him and funding the whole entire thing. You know, without billions of dollars from the military, you know, he wouldn't be anything.
Yeah, Project
you know?
Blackjack
Yeah.
and shooting up military satellites every other day,
Mm-hmm.
making billions. That's what Starlink's all about. It's all about military satellites. It's all about providing the Ukraine with communications, right? I mean, Elon's responsible for all this death and dismemberment over there in the Ukraine and Russia, all that nonsense.
No, the whole EV thing is to literally catastrophically destroy our power structure here in the United States and the world.
Yeah,
you know,
it is.
And that's why they keep shutting down coal plants and all these power plants that produce our power, and they keep shutting them down, but they keep manufacturing thousands of EVs, and then they're going to tell you not to plug them in certain times of the day. So it's so crazy, y'all. And then you got this Joker here, and if you say anything bad about his stuff, he literally will turn your car off.
Yeah.
Quite literally. He's done it.
Multiple.
Yeah.
Tesla's done it multiple times.
Yeah.
So, but he's all about free speech.
Mm-hmm.
But just don't talk about his trashy car or he'll turn your car off. Yeah. Hilarious. Okay. So now we're going to jump into some YouTube news, y'all.
There you go.
We'll jump into planned obsolescence. Exactly. Even just planned obsolescence when you can't get enough power to charge your stupid car, and when it takes like 10 hours to charge to go 15 minutes. It's so, you know, and like, oh, look at me, I'm so smart. Like, dude, your car,
you're so stupid.
Not even viable. No, like, it's not even so viable, stupid. But everybody should buy one. It's so retarded. Okay. Marcy says on Rumble that Elon's a globalist. Okay, so let's go to this last article here. This is about a YouTuber pilot. So I don't know how many of y'all have heard about Trevor Jacob, but
yeah, go ahead.
He's got 100,000 or so. What's that?
Yeah, I was gonna say, if y'all have heard about this, go ahead and comment in the chat right now, or comment in the comment section down below afterwards. If you're watching this afterwards, if you've heard about this, this was about a year ago. Year and a half
this
ago.
video posted a year ago. It's got 3.8 million views.
Yeah.
And he only posted one more video after this, but you're going to find out why. This is interesting stuff. YouTube pilot Trevor Jacob finally admitted he crashed his plane a year and a half ago for online clout. So it was like a YouTube stunt. Oh. And this guy crashes his plane. He endangered himself, others. This is crazy. Okay, in December of 21, Trevor Jacob posted a YouTube video. And if you watch the video, it's crazy. It appears so staged. It's unbelievable.
Also, we actually went and watched a private pilot watched the video, and he pointed out several interesting things about the video and just really how staged the video is. And it's all very interesting. And also, the guy was, first of all, dumb enough to crash his plane in California. Second off, it's in a national reserve, right?
Yeah, a preserve,
A preserve, sorry.
Same thing.
And it's just, you got to be stupid to do that,
wild.
Rocks in your head.
Yeah, and just like
Rocks in your
seriously
head.
cocky. I mean, it's unreal. In December of 21, Trevor Jacob posted a YouTube video of himself jumping out of a single engine plane while he was flying from Lompoc to Mammoth Lakes. I probably didn't say Lompoc right. You probably say it like French or something like that. But the 29-year-old claimed he was forced to parachute from the plane because the engine failed. But it was a lie. And not only that, like his YouTube video that's still on YouTube, like, didn't even corroborate his lie that he told authorities, which is like,
Nope.
what a loony bird. At least take your video down.
He
You
tried
dummy.
to make the plane stall. He was jerking on the joystick if you watch the video.
Well, not only that,
Back
like
and
he
forth.
shows the crashed plane in the video, right? So, okay. The stunt
Oh, my
took
word.
place on November 24th of 21 and was uploaded to YouTube December. So it took a whole month. Okay. December 21 of 21. Trevor Jacob pleaded guilty on Thursday to a felony charge of obstructing a federal investigation by deliberately destroying the wreckage of an airplane that he intentionally crashed in Santa Barbara County to gain online views, according to the U.S. Attorney General's
stupid.
U.S. Attorney's Office, Central District of California. Investigators used Trevor Jacob's YouTube video to bolster their case. Yeah, no joke. Trevor Jacob lied to investigators when he told them he didn't know the location of the plane wreckage, except he goes to the plane wreckage to retrieve all of his GoPros. So there's that, which
Conveniently.
is like, duh. Oh, I don't know where it is. Don't watch the video that's publicly posted online. Wow, dude. Like, Riri status. Okay. Trevor Jacob lied to investigators. According to investigators, Jacob drove the wreckage to Lompoc City Airport, where he cut it up and destroyed the parts of the plane. I mean, mega federal crimes, dude.
Oh,
you
man.
can't do that. Jacob drove the wreckage to Lompoc City Airport and unloaded it in a hangar. He then cut up and destroyed the airplane wreckage, and over the course of a few days, deposited the detached parts of the wrecked airplane into trash bins at the airport and elsewhere, which he admitted in his plea agreement was done with the intent to obstruct federal authorities from investigating the November 24th crash. Trevor Jacob also lied to federal investigators when he submitted an aircraft accident incident where he falsely claimed the aircraft lost all power 35 minutes after takeoff. Jacob also lied to an FAA aviation safety inspector when he said the airplane's engine had quit, and because he could not identify any safe landing options, he had parachuted out of the plane, which safe landing options were clearly seen in his video. So there's that too. Trevor Jacob faces up to 20 years in federal prison. And thanks to Trevor, there's probably going to be like more stupid online YouTube retardation like stuff because he's a rocket scientist like Elon Musk or Doodle. The FAA revoked his pilot's license in April of 22. Wow. Via the DOJ on November 24th, 21, Jacob took off in his plane from Lompoc City Airport on a solo flight purportedly destined for Mammoth Lakes. Not only that, this guy is such a scumbag. He's like, oh, I got the ashes of my buddy, and I'm going to go snowboarding and something or other, and I'm going to sprinkle his ashes. Like, he had this gigantic backstory, and he was even willing to exploit his dead friend. Mega scum. This guy's probably going to, when he gets out of prison, he's probably going to run for public office because he is like and probably what we're going to find out, he's probably killed his friend and then had him cremated. Oh my goodness, this guy.
Can you do dumb YouTube videos from prison?
Probably. Maybe that's what he wants to do.
Maybe.
He'll go all Decepticon and go into a women's prison or something. Okay, hold on a second. Let's see. So he videoed himself parachuting to the ground in his airplane as it descended and crashed. He admitted in the plea agreement prior to takeoff, Jacob mounted several video cameras on different parts of the plane and equipped himself with a parachute, video camera, and selfie stick approximately 35 minutes after taking off while flying above the Los Padres National Forest. Oh, dude, he hurt the spotted iguana, dude. He is done. He's probably going to go to jail for
Also,
life.
both of the cameras that were mounted on the outside of the plane were perfectly pointed at the door where he was going to jump out.
Yeah,
too.
exactly. Yeah.
So they weren't in like
Other spots,
other
or
spots
whatever,
to see,
yeah.
like, you know, if you were going to be making a video about like how beautiful the terrain is.
Oh,
No, they were
wow.
pointed right at the door of the plane.
Mike says his friend died in a base jumping out. Oh man, and then he does some crazy stuff like that. That's so terrible. But that's why he had that. That's why he had that speed shoot on too. Oh man. Whew. Using the video camera mounted on a selfie stick and the video cameras he mounted on the airplane, Jacob was able to record the airplane as it descended and crashed to a dry brush area in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Carlos,
After parachuting
how are you
to the
doing,
ground,
man?
Jacob hiked to the location of the wreck and recovered the data containing the video recordings of his flight and the crash of the airplane. The plea agreement states. Well, the video clearly shows that. Like on November 26th, Jacob informed National Transportation Safety Board about the plane crash. The NTSB, which launched an investigation, which I find it's hilarious that, you know, NTSB can like expose this guy, but they don't know anything about 9/11. But anyway, which launched an investigation into a crash on or about the same day, told Jacob that he was responsible for preserving the wreckage so the agency could examine it. Jacob agreed to determine the crash location and provide both the coordinates of the down plane and videos of the crash to NTSB investigators. 3 days later, the FAA launched its own investigation into the plane crash. In the weeks following the plane crash, Jacob lied to investigators that he did not know the wreckage location, according to the plea agreement. In fact, on December 10th, Jacobs and a friend flew by helicopter to the wreckage site. There, Jacob used straps to secure the wreckage, which the helicopter lifted. Whoa, dude.
Whoa.
Man.
Mad loot, dude.
Complexity, man.
Getting your helicopter buddy involved.
Wow. So this is pretty crazy stuff, y'all. Crazy. YouTube, zany, crazy.
But wasn't that worth it for 3.8 million views?
3.8 million views and
20
he
years
hasn't
in jail.
posted. Yeah. Unreal, y'all.
So stupid.
Stuff.
And also there was another thing that one of the pilots that were watching the video too, that he might have been thinking in his head too, is that if he was going to play it off as it was, you know, the plane stalled out, you know, and he had the malfunction and everything, and it crashes, he could, and if it was insured, you know, he would get a brand new plane or whatever too. He could file that. But
we're gonna switch off a restream too, because we're 30 minutes in and it's doing.
I know it's doing this garbage. Yeah, we just gotta bite the bullet and go ahead and do.
I wish we hadn't paid so much for a restream. I wish they weren't such a terrible company. They're too busy supporting Ukraine to have any kind of customer service. There's no way to contact these clowns. And they purposely, like, even though we paid for the pro thing and paid through the nose, they still like choke our bandwidth because they're just terrible. Okay, what's Villainous Mustache saying? I always felt like Elon wasn't trustworthy. It's like you guys said really early on. No one gets that much power without sacrificing something. And both always were that smart.
Maybe. That's all billionaires, you know.
OBS is complicated. It's just too complicated, and I am a total tech tard. So just ask my buddy Chris over at Financial Prepper. Me and him both suffer from tech tardation. So thank you, Carlos. You are a super fan. We appreciate you, brother. Thank you. Now you just got to get Doug to come on, because Doug was in the chat and he just wanted to wave. And we asked him on, and he was non-responsive. So
we are going to be doing a Honey Money plug, because
Honey Money.
We got
Matt. What in the world is Honey Money? What are you talking about?
We got our 1 gallons back in stock, and we only have 24 of them in stock. So if you want to get some unvaccinated, unpasteurized, local
Honey
Texas Honey Money
that will last for thousands of years.
Yes, exactly.
And it's an incredible barter. It has an incredible store of value up there with gold and silver. All right, just saying,
exactly.
y'all.
So if you want to, you can go pick this up at TheTexasBoys.com. It's all restocked, and there's only 24 of them because it's a lot of honey. So anyway, and that's all we have for right now. So I know there's been some people that have been wanting to buy it in bulk, and this is the biggest thing we have. We were thinking about doing it in 5 gallons, but it would cost way too much to ship it. And overall, I don't think people would want to pay that much for 5 gallons of it. So
I'm going to also grab.
What are you going to do?
Our link for the exit.
I already put that in there.
You put it in there? Okay.
I already put it in there. It's in the description.
It's in the description, y'all.
Yeah.
The link for the Exit and Build Summit. So maybe we'll see y'all there. Maybe some of you will want to attend virtually.
Yeah.
But hope you can either attend.
It's going to be awesome because if you do attend or think about it, the Exit and Build Summit, they have, all the food's covered and everything, and it's farm to table, organic
local
food.
Farms. It's
awesome.
It's ingenious. And yeah, Patrick Wood's going to be there talking about the technocracy and
55-gallon tub. I wish.
That is cool. Pete, they trade eggs versus honey at the farmer's market. I love the parallel agora.
Man, sorry about that. That was Restream blackfaced me there for a second.
We apologize if you're offended by that. I am severely offended by Restream. They're terrible, and they charged us like primo. And I should stop complaining about it to y'all because y'all are just trying to watch. But they're offensive. And we have a call to action video that'll be coming out probably sometime next week. So we're going to need y'all to make a phone call for us. But I'm not going to spill the beans just yet. But it is about ham and beans.
Correct.
I'm not going to spill the beans. Okay.
This is a Texas
Boys
is a
TV
deep fake. Yeah.
Maybe. Looks like it. So that's all we got, y'all. I hope y'all are having a great weekend.
Yeah.
You got anything else, Matt? Anything you want to share? Any new updates?
We got the gate installed, which was really exciting.
And that video is going to come out.
Yeah. And
unfortunately, the sawmill video is never going to come out.
Sadly not.
Like, you could just reshoot
I think we were going to just reshoot it.
There
Me and James were thinking about just reshooting it and explain what we did.
You got some explaining to do.
So tell us everything. Yeah. Yeah. So, and then we got our horses out on the property. We let them go yesterday. And there is so much. And we are in debt, Carlos. We know we are in very much.
And you got to get that. You got to get that interview over to the interview person.
Correct.
You slacker.
The interview is a definite. That is 100% coming out. So
yeah, that's coming out.
You don't got to worry about that, Carlos.
On their channel and our
write
channel.
It off. Yep.
So, but Matt's, Matt has a father, and it's a good thing because Matt's busy and he doesn't always follow through like he should. So that's why he still needs to be sculpted, molded.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
By his patriarchal leadership here. So we got lots of cool stuff coming out. We're pumped. We'll probably shoot some really cool videos at Exit and Build.
Yeah, I would hope
if
so.
We're going to be there. I mean, I don't know.
What interview? DR, you're going to have to.
So stay tuned, DR.
Yes, have to stay tuned.
Big interview with a very big channel that I'm sure that none of you are aware of. But anyway.
No. That'll be coming out on Monday.
Which Monday?
Lord willing, this Monday.
Well, you haven't even sent the person the link yet.
Well, she's going to be back from the mountains, and then she'll probably post it.
But she doesn't have the footage that you edited yet.
Yeah, but she's up in the mountains anyway. So,
so when are you going to send it to her?
Tomorrow.
Oh, well, you've been saying.
Or tonight. I can send it to her.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, we still got to upload it. It's going to take a while.
Probably it won't take too long, actually.
Okay.
Because it's restream, so.
We're going to Mars. Is there anything more absurd than? I think it's funny because he says we're going to Mars and we're going back to the moon, even though there's did y'all see the redacted video this week of the Russian cosmonaut that's like, hey, they supposedly went to the moon. Can we like see some of the proof of that?
Nope.
Or how about like let's zoom in on the spot where they landed and put the MTV flag and all that
Nope.
stuff? Like, can we do any of that? And the Russians are like, shut up. Shut up. But even though I thought they were like our enemies and whatnot.
No,
and
NASA was like, shut up.
no,
What do you mean?
NASA was not like shut up. The Russian space organization was telling this guy, shut up,
Oh,
don't
okay.
talk about it, don't ask, even
Oh.
though they're our mortal enemy. And you would think that Russia would want to make us look fake and stupid, but apparently not that much, because it's a big club and we're not in it, and they are. And it's the beast system, y'all. Beast got a beast, and the beasts are our buddies. So I have to guess, y'all. I know, Carlos, and you're just not gonna guess. Is it? No, it's not. That was a pretty decent guess, though. That was like a left field guess. That's pretty good. DR said, I heard they went to fake the moon landing, but it was too hard. So they just went, I like it. Oh, that's funny. Something funny happened on the way to the moon. All right, you guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. Hope y'all have a great Lord's Day tomorrow. And we'll see you on the next video.
All right. See y'all later.